Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken, and welcome back to another video. We are live on Twitch recording the Heart of Darkness update notes, which is the brand new patch coming to Paladins in May. So, there's a brand new champion, there's a brand new event pass, there's a bunch of balance, there's a brand new Schism for Siege Beyond, which doesn't look like total garbage like the last one was, at least to me. And so yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Let's just go ahead and get straight into it with Lillith, the new champion. She is, in fact, a support. And she has some abilities that, like Betty, are a bit reused, but she still has some unique gimmicks to her, and she's at least more interesting than Betty, so that's cool. So let's read the lore blurb. Oh my goodness, it's big this time. It's dummy thick. Alright, here we go. I'm going to read this with more gusto than they did on the update show. What is the value of eternal life? At what point does the cost become too great? Lillith, through ill fortune and fear, has found herself on the path of this defiled discovery. Once a staunch defender of the magistrate, Lillith was a confidant and friend of Leon, even becoming a border lord in the far-off lands over which Leon holds dominion. Yet, this proud life would not last forever. Gravely wounded in a border incursion by resistance fighters, Lillith painstakingly crawled away from the battlefield, cursing those who brought her to death's door. What Lillith didn't know, what she couldn't have imagined, was that the Abyss would reach out to her and offer her a gift, an offer that was too powerful to refuse. Now, Lillith reigns from her dark corners of the realm. Aided by her unnaturally long life and keen mind, Lillith dashes from shadow to shadow with her deadly heart of crimson, a sinister weapon that swells with unnatural power whenever it tastes the blood of her enemies. Lillith works towards a realm blessed by the bounteous gifts once bestowed on her, ones that nobody will be allowed to deny. Yay! We have another Border Lord. That's interesting. I didn't realize she was a Border Lord. So yeah, she's Magistrate / Abyss / Border Lord ? Thing weirdness or something? Leon friend ? She's amazing. She should join House Ico, honestly. Anyways, let's take a look at this. Now, her abilities are not going to be like super interesting. They're interesting, but you know, you can see some parallels with other champions. But the really, really interesting thing is her health. Look at this. 750 plus 2,500. What? What is that? What does that mean? That's a lot of health for a support to have. 3,250 health on a support at base? And why is it added together? Well, basically, she has a passive blood health pool, which is the 2,500. And it is this blood pool from which she draws the resources to use her abilities. So she's another resource-based champion, just like how Koga and Saati are. But her resource is her health. She literally kills herself in order to heal her teammates, which is really freaking metal, now that I think about it. So yeah. Basically, this 2,500 health pool is what she uses to use these different abilities. And then the 750 is just like regular health. And then she recharges this health with, I believe, her Blood Hex. So, yeah, pretty interesting design aspect there. Now, her Heart of Crimson is her primary fire. It is very basic. Basically, it's like Ray's projectile, but just tweaks some numbers. So, it's a charged bolt of blood from her mysterious cube, has a max of 4 ammo, deals 625 damage per shot. So, yeah, slow fire rate, 625 damage per shot, and yeah, nothing interesting there at all. Blood Hex. Lillith can choose to hex an enemy or an ally, dealing damage to enemies over time while healing herself, or healing allies over time while healing herself. So, basically, this is how she's going to recharge that blood pool. And, yeah, it's like alternate Jenos mark, alternate Corvus mark, something like that. And it does not require any of this health pool, this blood health, to cast. Because, of course, it's how she uses... It's how she recharges her health, you know? So yeah, it's a bit of an interesting thing, I guess. I guess it's like alt Ray Link as well. Like, it functions like Ray Link, but if it was a mark instead of a link. So, yeah. Death Wings is probably her most boring ability, and I'm sad, because her trailer made it look like she had some sort of ethereal dash that would just go whoosh and be really epic, but it's IO Leap, but forward. So she leaps into the air forward and gains air control, and from the update show, it didn't look like it was a particularly like long leap. Like, it didn't go very far. And I guess the one differentiation from like Buck heroic leap or, you know, IO jump but forwards is she can reactivate the ability midair to ground pound and deal damage in a small radius. She can stomp on Goombas, basically. So, which I guess, man, this really is just Bounce House. Bounce House, but different. All right. We got Swarm. Lillith channels a swarm of bats to heal her allies or damage her enemies. Basically does both at the same time. Lasts for 3.75 seconds, has 3 channel states that increase healing and damage. So she starts up the channel and basically like targets an area on the ground, right? It's like you aim it and then you start up the channel, and the channel will make it deal more healing or damage based on how long you channel it for. And I believe channeling it also takes more of your blood health, because this, yeah, that's how you use Swarm. Is, yeah, just blood health. So, yeah, you charge it up, and then you throw it on the ground, and then for 3.75 seconds, any teammates who are in it get healing, and it's actually pretty darn good healing. And any enemies who are in it take a bunch of damage. So, it's like an alternate gourd, basically. It's gourd, but you have to charge it, and you have to kill yourself, and it does better healing and damage as a result. So, Damba could learn some lessons from Lillith, honestly. And then her ultimate. Now, this actually isn't a reuse thing at all. This is by far her most interesting ability, coupled with her passive. Her passive is pretty interesting too, you know, how she casts her abilities, but this ultimate is actually genuinely really cool. So she channels the Blood Moon. Allies receive 35% pure life rip. Now, they explained this is different to regular life rip, in the sense that it is not able to be cauterized. They're adding another ability, besides Ray ult, that cannot be cauterized, and it's life rip this time. So you're going to want to pair this ultimate with high DPS like champions. So like if you're trying to look for good synergies with Lillith, you want to bring someone who does a lot of damage, because yeah, they just get more healing and it cannot be cauterized. So that's like the key thing. And then Lillith moves faster, jumps higher, and constantly regenerates health during this ultimate. And because she's constantly regenerating health, it means she's going to be able to spam swarms and death wings and all this stuff like crazy. And it lasts for 8 seconds. And one thing that they said in the update show that they didn't show, which I think is really dumb, is enemies will have a blood moon visual on them. Like, you know how Mayvault works, where it blinds you and puts visuals on your screen and stuff like that? It's going to be like that for all the enemies. And it's a global ultimate. So no matter where you are, you're going to be affected. And it's not going to blind you necessarily. It's just going to make everything look edgy, from what I understand. But again, they didn't show it off, which is an absolute travesty, because I want to see it. So we're just going to have to wait to the PTS. We're going to have to wait for the PTS in order to see the Blood Moon. So, but yeah, Ultimate is actually really fascinating. Really cool Ultimate. The rest of this stuff, it looks like it'll be fun to use. Apart from maybe Death Wings. Honestly, Death Wings look really underwhelming to me. But the rest of this looks like it'll be okay and fun to use. And the passive, again, is really cool. So, more interesting than Betty. Still some reused stuff, but, yeah. So let's move on to the talents. We have 3, obviously. Wow, who could have seen this coming? And these are pretty interesting as well. So, her default talent is Cursed Accord. And, yeah, it's got a lot going on. So, decreased damage output. Wait, it has decreased that. Am I tripping, or did it say increased damage output on the PTS? Or on the update show?
All right!
I might be tripping. Or maybe, I don't know. It says decreased damage output, though, on all of her damaging abilities and in hand by 25%. But you also decrease the blood cost on all abilities by 35%, so you'll be able to spam swarms and death wings and stuff much more often, and increase her healing output by 15% to allies and herself. So this is basically one of 2 different sort of healing talents. Level 2 talent, Maelstrom of Carnage. Lillith casts a cloud on herself, and it moves with her. The cloud being her swarm. She casts swarm on herself. And so basically she turns into Grover for a little bit. Ability cost is decreased by 25%, while the radius is increased by 30%. So it's bigger, and it's on her, so she could just run around and turn into a tree. And she can see her own radius while Grover still can't, which is really just dumb. Why can't Grover see his radius? I don't know. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. I don't know how popular it'll be because, again, the duration on Swarm is only 3.75 seconds. So she's going to be doing this a lot. She's going to be casting that a lot. Just a lot of spamming Swarms, I guess. And then her level 8 talent is her damage talent. Projectiles pierce enemies but are smaller. And they also showed in the update show that it basically works like Scorch for Fernando as well, where enemies that get hit, like, past the pierce, like, say you pierce through one enemy, the next enemy behind that enemy will take more damage. And then the next enemy behind that enemy will take even more damage. But of course, since the projectiles are smaller, it's going to be hard to pierce multiple people. But they do still pierce. We'll see how good this is. Because, yeah, people tend not to group up. So this could be a little bit bad? I don't know. So let's look at our cards now. We've got a bunch. So let's see, what's this? Increase extra blood health by 250, while decreasing base health by 125. Ooh. So you can increase the amount of health to work with to spam your abilities, but decrease your regular health. So if you spam your abilities a little bit too hard, then your regular health is going to be garbage. But this does ultimately look like an increase in raw health, because you're losing 125, but you're gaining 250, so you're still getting a net gain of 125, which, goodness, 125 times 5. 625 plus 3250 is an excessive amount of HP for support to have. Oh my. That's a lot of health. You can't out of combat heal your blood health? Yeah. So you have to be using your Hex a lot. Interesting. Interesting stuff. Gloomy Nook. Gain a 150 shield for 1.75 seconds after falling to below 75% health. Ooh, 75% health. So you're going to be proccing this a lot, except you're not, because it can only happen once every 35 seconds. Okay, that doesn't seem like something that'll be particularly great, unless the 75 health threshold applies to her regular base health, and not her blood health. In which case, that'll be really helpful. Interesting. I don't know. Sharpened Slaughter. Set your ammo to 2, so cut your ammo in half, but you increase your projectile speed by a lot. That's an interesting card. Might make her projectiles easier to hit for some people, so that'll be interesting. And the Tainted Form. When you hit a marked enemy, so I guess when you shoot them, you get extra health. Ooh, okay. So put Blood Hex on an enemy, and you'll recharge your blood health pool. But then you shoot that enemy with the Hex on them, and you recharge your blood health even more. That sounds cool. Alright. Blood Hex cards. Hitting an enemy with Blood Hex will reveal them to your team for 2.5 seconds, capped out. Wow, alright. Bit of extra utility there that I don't think really many other supports have. So, that's something cool. Increase your allies' movement speed while they are marked by Blood Hex. Alright, even more utility there. Nice, love to see it. Reduce the blood cost of Death Wings by up to 16, or no, excuse me, up to 20% while an enemy is marked by Blood Hex. Alright. Interesting. And reduce the blood cost of Swarm by up to 25% while an ally is marked by Blood Hex. Now, that could be good. That could possibly be good. Like for just spamming out healing, because keep in mind, Blood Hex also heals your teammates. So you put Blood Hex on someone, and then you put Swarm on someone, and then you put another Swarm on someone, and then you put another Swarm on someone, and then you put another Swarm on someone. Alright. Death Wings. Reduce the cooldown of Blood Hex after activating Death Wings. Alright. Increase the vertical movement of Death Wings. Alright. And lateral movement. Okay, so copy-paste Betty cards. But they don't look as good as Betty cards. But Betty cards. I bet you never saw that coming. Hey. And reduce your damage taken after activating Death Wings. Okay, so these look boring. Swarm cards. Increase the damage and healing of Swarm by up to 20%, but reduce its duration by a lot. Okay, interesting trade-off card. You can make your healing and damage burstier. Which, considering that burst healing is really good, especially in late game, because if someone gets out of cauterize for 1 second, you've got 1 second to heal them. Burst heals are good there. This might actually be a good card. We'll have to see, though. We have to do some testing and see exactly how good the healing is. Convenient leech. Reduce the effect of crowd control for allies within swarm by 25%? Huh. She's got a lot of utility. Movement speed, a reveal, and crowd control reduction for teammates. That's something really interesting. Alright. So her cards definitely make her much, much more interesting. For sure. Got a lot of utility there. Increase the radius of swarm, but increases cost. Okay, that could actually be helpful, if you don't mind taking extra damage. And increase the healing allies received from swarm, but increase its cost. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's different to Enriched Blood. This one increases damage and healing, but reduces the duration. This increases the healing, but then also increases the cost. Okay. Well, that's really interesting. Okay, these cards. They actually made some interesting cards, for once. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Well, let's move on to her skins now. Because she's got, of course, well, a few recolors here and there, you know, typical champion things. So we've got the Season Pass skin. Let me zoom in here. We can get a nice, pretty view of the splash art. And this will be coming from the Season Pass 2022. So if you're like me and you own the Season Pass, then you will get this very cool looking skin. Basically, she's not a vampire anymore. She's just edgy. So, and yeah, quick shout out moment. If you want to buy the Season Pass, go to my Nexus, nexus.gg/AndrewChicken, !drop in the chat. And yeah, you will basically be able to buy the Season Pass and crystals and stuff like that, and support me in the process. So, yeah, I would really appreciate it if you check that out. And yeah, you'll be getting this skin if you buy the Season Pass, so that's pretty nice. And let's move on now to Wicked Hex Lillith, which is her base recolor, which you'll buy for gold. And of course, you'll also unlock it through Season Pass if you own that as well, so you don't even have to spend gold. And yeah, it's basically alt version of Vampire. Her clothing looks really nice, very edgy. And the hair is green, which, I guess it works. I mean, if it was red as well, then like it would just look like default, honestly. Because what's default again? Yeah, default is red hair, but then purple clothes. So different alternate colors, and then we have the gold skin. Now her skin looks way purple in this gold skin for some reason. On the splash art, it doesn't look as purple in game, I noticed. And it's an alright gold skin. It's solid. It doesn't look bad necessarily, but it's certainly not on the same level as some of the excellent gold skins we have, like Io gold skin or Corvus gold skin, if we're talking supports. But it does look alright, and that weapon looks really sick. Weapon looks amazing. So, that's very, very nice. And I also got some emotes and stuff. I need to move my fat head. And we gotta move the chat. Actually, we're just gonna make the chat go poof. Bye-bye, chat. Haha. Get wrecked. So we got default emote. I think she just bites, right? You. And then machinations, where she plays with her cube. And the cube is cool. I like the cube. The cube is very nice. And you get this one from Season Pass as well. And then MVP poses, I mean, does anyone really care about MVP poses that much? Like, I don't really care. They're cool looking, but like, whatever. Let's move on now. We will make the chat return. I think the chat has returned. Yes, the chat has returned. All right, perfect. Let's move on now to the Lost Future Event Pass. Lost Future Event Pass. The future but bad. Which champion? Which champion comes from a bad future? Does that mean? Oh no. Does that mean Atlas Skin? Well, yes. Yes, it does. We finally have a new Atlas Skin. It's been 84 years, maybe even longer, but we finally got one. All right, and it's more interesting too. Legionnaire, I mean, it's an alright skin, but it looks very similar to default, and he's got a weird horse on his head, and it's just not very good. This is a more unique skin, and my goodness, it is wild. He's a monster. I guess he's just like Atlas, but if he succumbed to the darkness. His chrono cannon looks absolutely wild. He's got Cthulhu face going on. And yeah, it's an absolutely wild skin. Of course, you can't see it on the stream, but in the video, I'll be putting footage of Atlas up, as I always do for the update shows. So yeah, it looks really good in game. Even better than the splash art, I might say. Maybe. Unfortunately, they didn't really play very many voice lines for him, though, so we don't get to hear the voice pack that much until we get in game anyways. So yeah, and we will be showcasing that, by the way. So follow me on Twitch, follow me on YouTube, all that, because yeah, we'll be showcasing this once the PTS comes out.
Oh my goodness, look at those effects. That's awesome. Oh, sick. That's what I was waiting for.
That's gonna creep some people out.
Nice.
I don't know, it's almost like time is some type of construct.
Right? Yeah. Maybe not the construct.
Yeah, we also have an IO skin, which, at first I was like, why are they adding IO to an event pass? Like, didn't she just get a skin?
Alright!
Didn't she, like, just, I don't know, that's weird. But then I remembered, oh yeah, right, IO, Vora, Darkness, Yagroth. It all makes sense now. IO has been corrupted by the Darkness too. And that's what this skin is. And I dig it, honestly. I actually, I quite like this. It makes sense. Atlas and IO, perfect for this type of event pass. And yeah, can we just appreciate Baby Yago over here? That's so freaking cute. I love that so much. I love that so much. I know IO just got a skin, but like, I still like this. I think this is alright. I think this works. Because, yeah, it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
So devoid. I am the end of all things. You despoiled. Attack.
Is this just evil whispering salt?
Right? Yeah.
And then we got recolors of that, of course, and I believe this is the free one? Or which one's the free one? Because one of these is going to be the free one. Is it the last one? Oh, it doesn't say which of these is the free one. Okay, maybe none of them are free. I don't know. But yeah, we've got the recolor Vile Atlas, which arguably looks even cooler than the original Atlas. Purple and green color scheme. He looks toxic and venomous and absolutely putrid, and I love it. I love it. And then, yeah, we also got Frozen Moon IO, which, it's an interesting color scheme. In my opinion, the original looks better, though, just because it matches more closely with Vora and with Yagroth and that whole theme. But, I mean, it's still solid, and if you like this color scheme, then, hey, cool for you. But yeah, I absolutely cannot wait to pick this event pass up. It's been a long time since I've been this excited for an event pass. Monster Guide event pass was cool and all, but this one I'm really hyped for, because my boy finally has a skin, and they delivered. They delivered. That's the important thing. Oh my goodness. Atlas, I'm so happy for you. Alright. Well, moving on from that, we've got other event pass exclusive unlocks. Alright, chat, it's time to disappear again. Alright. You go poof. There we go. And I'm going to move over here. And yeah, we can check out some of these sprays and stuff. We got the Lost Future Atlas spray, the clock, but it's been shattered. We got a very sick looking loading frame here. That's actually really awesome. I love the darkness aesthetic. Like, Vor looks amazing, Yagroth looks amazing, and then we got a border for that, along with some new skins for other characters for that. Really sick. Really, really sick. I got some other avatars and stuff. I feel like a lot of people are going to run this avatar. Dark Embrace IO. Yeah. Interesting spray as well. What? Okay. Nice. God. Oh. Googly eyes on Yagroth. That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. Interesting 3D spray. Terrible Fate. Okay, we got a Yago spray. Another Yago spray. It's all just Yagroth. It's all just Yagroth. Dark Embrace Pip. Oh. Interesting. They didn't say anything about a Pip skin. I guess it's just an avatar. Okay. And a Shattered Moon 3D spray. And that's pretty much it for the cosmetics from the event pass. You know what? Let's just scroll back in. We don't need to scroll out because there's still going to be more cosmetics here. So Trials of the Realm, obviously, those are going to be very typical. We got crystals, gold, bounty coins, stuff like that. And we've got a menu theme from Amelie. Molly. I don't know. I don't know who this person is. Am I dumb and uncultured? Maybe. Possibly. Potentially. I admit. But I guess that's cool. I just care if it sounds good, honestly. We'll listen to it. We got a death card, the Heartless. And it's just Lillith being like, hey, you died. Sucker. Oh. 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 We got a new announcer pack. And it's for Leon.
Pajamas.
That's very fitting for this update. We were wondering, Leon got new voice lines in this new trailer. They brought the Leon voice actor back for something. And we know now why they brought the Leon voice actor back. We've got a Leon announcer pack. Honestly, I think that's really cool. I'm not a fan of auto aim, alright? I'm the first person to admit that, but she definitely seems like the type of character who deserves an announcer pack because she is a very high up important leader in the realm, and so, you know, having her bark orders to you in the announcer pack seems cool. And, of course, Rima's going to be very excited, so that makes me happy. And yeah, we got some more avatars and stuff. We got Dark Embrace Bomb King. Oh, that looks wicked. Can we turn this into a skin, please? That'd be cool. Got an MVP post for Atlas, and that actually looks awesome. That actually looks awesome. And, oh my god. He looks so goofy. He looks so goofy. I love that. Oh no, I'm gonna have to play ROM though. I'm gonna have to play ROM, and that's sad, but that's oh, that's amazing. All right, that's absolutely amazing. All right, let's bring the chat back. Here we go, and let's dive into. Oh gosh, oh we scrolled a little bit too far. Okay, here we go. We got limited time modes here. So, yeah, we got some new stuff. Lillith versus Lillith. All right, that's a thing. Choose any ability, any champion, anytime. Choose any champion in this frenetic mode. All abilities have had their cooldowns reduced by 35%, and ultimate abilities have been disabled. So, that's interesting. And then we've got Khan versus Leon. Leon has had enough of Khan's protection, but his regal armor is stronger than she knows. Khan's health has been increased, and his ability cooldowns have been reduced, but Leon deals more damage. Oh my. That sounds like madness. Alright. And then, we didn't get any gold skins last patch, and I expected a bare minimum of 1 gold skin this patch. But we actually got 2. Unfortunately, it's not Eevee. But fortunately, it's 2 champions who have just kind of been left in the dust when it comes to skins. I mean, Willow... Oh, I guess I'm spoiling it. I mean, screw it. Cat's out of the bag. Willow, she obviously got her Will.O skin recently, but other than that, she hasn't really gotten much recently. And then also... Moji. She's getting her gold skin as well. And hopefully, her golden weapon is getting reworked. Because I'm not going to lie, her gold weapon looks terrible. Looks like garbage. I hate it. And this splash art has got me convinced that maybe they freshened it up and gave it an update. Because Poli's eyes don't look like that in-game. She looks blind in-game. But these are, like, they clearly have pupils. They can clearly see, and they're purple. And that's completely different. And so I'm hoping that the default weapon looks better as well, because if so, then this gold skin is actually much more hype than it may seem. Because if they didn't rework and tweak the weapon, then it's just this. It's just Moji herself, the little rider on top of it, and it's not actually that exciting. But I mean, the color scheme does look great. You know, purple Moji with black and gold on the robes. It's, yeah, very expected, and it looks solid. And then, yeah, here's Golden Willow. And this is looking sick. This is looking very sleek. I love her wings. Solid black with gold trim. That's how I like my gold skins. She's wearing a crown or a crest or whatever as well, which is pretty cool. Her body might be a little bit too gold. Like, that looks excessively shiny, and her pants and boots are pure gold. But other than that, yeah, I mean, we'll have to see it in game, but it looks like it'll be another really wicked looking gold skin. So... that's exciting. 2 somewhat neglected champions getting gold skins. I approve, even though it's not my Eevee. We have to hold out just a little bit longer. It's sad. Anyways, We've also got some more cosmetics. We got a Betty skin. Of course, it's the patch after Betty released, and so she's going to get a skin, just like how every champion works except Yagroth. And her face in this splash art. I don't know what they were on when they drew the face, because it looks weird. But the skin looks much more solid in-game. And the weapon actually looks really fantastic. The weapon is my favorite part of the skin, no doubt about that. The effects are alright. She still has PNGs for bombs, which is unfortunate. And it's not quite the theme that I was looking for in a Betty skin. My idea for a Betty skin is Volcano Goddess. Just based off the Hail Bomb, you could turn the Hail Bomb into a volcano. And just extrapolate to the rest of the skin the volcano theme. That's what I want, but we've got weird Dragon Betty instead. In my opinion, it's the worst skin in the update, but, I mean, that's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, because skins are subjective.
You mess with a dragon, you get an overused joke about horns. Oh boy, oh boy.
The old anti-joke.
I was just winging it. What do you humans say? Woo-hoo? Oh yeah, I am straight fire. Dragon fire or the dragon's wagon.
But yeah, we've also got a Kinessa Skin. It just keeps going. And this will be in the Diamond Trove chest or purchased directly, so yeah, pretty easy to get your hands on this skin. And also the Betty skin is available in the Arcane Powers chest and can be purchased directly. So easy to get your hands on these two skins. And yeah, this one is just a pretty solid skin. There's not really much to it in terms of like making it super like original or anything, but it's just a very solid Egyptian Kinessa skin, and that weapon looks gorgeous in the splash art. I cannot wait to try that in game because that weapon looks phenomenal, and we've got some more reasons to try Kinessa, which we'll get to in a moment. So yeah, hang tight for that. But skin, obviously, very cool. And is that the last of the skins? It is. All right. So there's some chests coming, and honestly, can't really be bothered to list off the chests because nobody cares. So let's just go into the general updates now. So we've got a new ranked split. We've got a new Siege Beyond Schism and some long overdue enemy bots. Oh boy, I love bots so much. Wow, bots are really cool. Yo, that's crazy. And apparently they've also increased the rewards available via earned free rewards. Does that mean we get more rewards from ads? Because I don't care. Yeah, but let's see. So there's some quality of life with new champions added to practice queues, because apparently there's a bunch of champions that just weren't available in bot matches. I don't know why, and I don't know why anyone cares that they're added, but I guess they're here, so yay. And from free rewards, let's see. So each video viewed, oh, this really is just ads, okay. So each video viewed will grant 150 gold, and the rotating rewards for every 5th view will change to crystals instead of event pass boosters, a flare and style chest, 20 bounty coins for the 15th. For the 25th you get more bounty coins, for the 30th you get more crystals, and for the 35th you get 20 bounty coins. Oh boy. And we're enabling a one-time quest to earn at least one free reward, so there's never been a better time to try it out. There's a one-time quest to watch it ad! There's a one-time quest to watch an ad. There's... They left this out of the update show, so this is my first genuine reaction to this, and that's depressing. I mean, it's cool that we get crystals and flare and style chests, though. Like, don't get me wrong, that's cool, but, like, I just don't like the idea of ads in my video game, okay? Showing ads to my viewers on Twitch, that's awesome. I will do that all the time, okay? Because that's really cool, all right? And I approve, and you guys should approve as well. But I don't want to watch ads in my video game, okay? Like, can we just not? Anyways, let's move on to more exciting things. Siege Beyond is no longer going to suck as hard. So, the item store, the first Schism, is not going to make it into the game. Which, thank God. Oh my God. I hated that item store so much. So much. It sucked. It sucked so hard. So, yeah. This next one will be focused on the cart and how it is pushed. Barrick has been working on a new card design, and it could well be a game changer. All the factions have adopted it, but like many new technologies, there may still be some bugs to work out. Oh, okay. Alright. Clever way to talk about the fact that your game has bugs. Prototype card. So, in Siege Beyond, the initial point is captured normally, and spawns a cart for the capturing team. And that's where things get interesting. The cart will now move forward of its own volition, gaining or losing speed based on how many allies and enemies are in range. So, you don't need to stand near the payload in order to push it. But if you do stay near the payload, as a teammate, it'll move faster. As an enemy, it'll move slower. So, and then the defenders literally just, they shoot it. They shoot it to destroy it. It has a lot of health, and you blow it up, and then, after sustaining enough damage, it will break down completely and stop moving. And to repair it, to push it all the way in, you've got to go to 2 different controlling points in different parts throughout the map to get the cart back up and running. You basically have to capture it. And yeah, I assume that when the enemies contest the controlling points, it won't be repaired. But yeah, apparently, depending on how commandingly they do so, the new cart may offer additional advantages once it's repaired, and I don't know what those additional advantages are, because they didn't really talk about it. And then, of course, advancing the cart to the enemy's base will win the round and earn a point, and the first team to accumulate 5 points wins. Is that a typo, or are they increasing the point count to 5 as opposed to 4? Dunno. But, yeah, this looks actually like a fun new game mode. It's not payload, right? It's not the payload we wanted anyways. I guess it's a different type of payload. But this still looks way cooler than the original item shop. Like, we love our default item shop, right? We've learned that much. And we probably still love our regular Siege more. But this at least looks interesting. And it looks cooler and more engaging than, like, Onslaught. Can we just replace Onslaught? Like, that'd be cool. You know, instead of replacing regular Siege with Siege Beyond, right? If people like this, can we just replace Onslaught instead? I don't like Onslaught. Onslaught sucks. Can we just, yeah, do me a solid. Alright. Anyways, moving on to the rank split. We've got rank split rewards, which are cool, I guess. Map rotation. Alright, so we're swapping out Frozen Guard for Splitstone Quarry. Awesome. Freaking hate Frozen Guard. Love Splitstone Quarry. And they're keeping the new Warder's Gate rework out to account for polish. This patch's casual siege rotation has also been modified to accommodate this change. So, yeah, casual maps will remain playable, but some map percentages have been lowered and increased in line with the current ranked rotation and community feedback. So, yay! No Frozen Guard. That's the highlight of that. So that's really cool. But now it's time for the juicy balance. And from what we saw in the update show, the balance isn't total garbage this time. So that's awesome. And we'll see if they missed anything. I don't know if they left a few champions out, but we do have a metric crap ton of Azaan changes. Like, an excessive amount of balance changes for Azaan. So let's get into it. First of all, base health has been reduced by 250 points. Solid. His passive Ire, the damage resistance, has gone down from 15% to 12%. This is a far cry from the 20% it started out at. It's almost half of what it used to be. And this is still really good because, hey, 12% passive DR is good on anybody. But it's not as strong as it used to be. So he's going to be a little bit easier to kill because of all this. And then his conviction is getting a ton of changes. So the range is reduced, which is the one thing I'm a little bit sad about, because I like his mobility. I like going far. I like going fast. I like flying. So that's kind of sad for me. But the stun duration, that's alright. So non-talented. Against Sanctuary Walls, 1.5 second duration on the stun now, which is still pretty lengthy to stun, but it's just a little bit shorter. And the same for other surfaces. It's been taken down by 0.10 seconds, which isn't a lot, but you're going to be getting back into combat just a tiny fraction of a second faster, and that can mean the difference between life and death. So these are good changes. And talented, so this is with tempering, basically. The stun duration is going down on this one as well, by 0.2 seconds on Sanctuary Walls, and by 0.1 seconds against other surfaces. And these are really weird numbers. 1.175 seconds. Nice. And then the lift duration on Reckoning is also getting reduced by 0.05 seconds. And, for some reason, just gotta sneak this little balance change in there. They're buffing his ultimate. They're buffing his ultimate by 100 damage on landing. Which is weird, but okay. It doesn't seem like the biggest deal in the world, so that's fine. And yeah, these nerfs should hopefully make him feel a little bit better to play against. A lot of these stun changes honestly aren't that big of a deal. They are still really helpful, for sure. But they are tiny changes. But yeah, this damage reduction nerf and this health nerf are really going to help. And yeah, the dev commentary, basically, he is the highest ban rate champion in ranked matches. His ban rate is through the roof. It is excessively high. He's banned in like 70% of matches, which is crazy, because the average ban rate is between like 5 and 10% or something like that for most champions. So, yeah. He kind of needed some more nerfs. Let's take a look at Barrack, though. Okay, so they are leaving some changes out. This was not covered in the update show. So, Barricade Alt-Fire is getting increased base health by 250. So, a solid 4,000 on the Barricade now, which is not a buff I expected to ever see for Barrack. But I guess they're trying to make his other talents a little bit more viable, because a lot of people run Fortify just for the extra base health. And so having increased base health at base, obviously, base health, makes his other talents a little bit more, cool. So that's nice. And Tinkerin is getting buffed as well. So the increased damage is going to 550, which is a nice solid number for that to be at. Basically, old Makoa cannon now. Old Makoa cannon damage. So, that's alright. Just seems like nice quality of life for Barrack, honestly. Tinker's going to be a bit more fun now, and his Barricade is cooler. And I guess no downside either for picking Fortify still, because, well... Actually, is Fortify a set value? I forget, and that's really embarrassing because I play a lot of Barrack. You know what, don't worry about it. It's fine. Next up, Betty changes. So she's getting some interesting tweaks. She's getting some nerfs, surprisingly, and she's also getting some buffs. So her grenade launcher, first of all, just quality of life in hand. We know her rate of fire now, and we know her max ammo. I mean, we already knew her max ammo, but we know her rate of fire now as well. So we can finally calculate her DPS. Her damage per jump, though, on explosive personality is actually getting decreased, which surprises me, because it's not even that high to begin with. It's 300 per bounce, so 900 over the total. And then pretty much per bounce, you can shoot one shot. So that's 600 on top of that. So that's 1800, which I guess plus 900. So it's a good amount of damage. But honestly, I didn't think it was anything OP. Like, I think of Betty. I don't think of OP duel potential. And explosive personality is kind of how she duels people. Like, she bounces around them and she shoots them. So, yeah. Interesting change there. And that'll be coupled with a Gotta Bounce nerf as well. Basically 1 second off the cooldown reduction. So it's a 5-second cooldown instead of a 4-second cooldown. But yeah, her ultimate, though, is getting some very nice buffs. I have been complaining about the damage that her ultimate does, and I still think 1900 would be a little bit too low. Like, I think 2000 is a nice number to just let it sit at. But it is getting extra damage, and that's a good thing, because her ultimate feels really lackluster. You hit someone with it, and they just don't die. And for a nuke... that's not satisfying. It's not satisfying to play with, so that's good. It's going to move faster as well. And the really interesting thing here is it'll lock you in place in the air during your initial build-up. So something I like to try to do with Betty, and a lot of people like to try to do with Betty, is they go up high in the sky with their explosive personality, and then they activate their ult. And you want it to just be like, oh, alright, so we're going to be chilling up here in this high place, and then we're just going to rocket out. But no. Like, by the time you actually mount your rocket and start flying, you've already hit the ground again. So this will really help make it feel smoother to use when you're doing that flying tech. So that's really, really nice. The animation looks really clunky, though, just being locked in the air, so I hope they tidy that up, but this is a good change. And then she's getting some card buffs as well. She's actually getting complete card rework as well, which... is surprising, considering how recent the champion is. But yeah, Eureka Moment, first of all, it is getting a very nice buff. So they decrease the amount of damage needed to generate ammo from 2,500 to 2,000 at base. And then you can reduce that by a further 1,000. So you'll get much more ammo from Eureka Moment now. And then also Labor of Genius. People don't like her reload speed. Her reload speed is garbage. It sucks. We hate it. And that's why everyone buys Deft Hands on Betty, if they know what's good for them. And so she's getting a reload speed card. Basically replacing Labor of Genius, because Labor of Genius was garbage and no one used it. And hand grenades exploding 50% longer? Ew. So hits with grenade launcher increase reload speed by 5% for up to 2.5 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. So this works very similar to how Bomb King's old Detonate reload speed card worked, where it would stack the reload speed repeatedly. So you can get up to 15% reload speed from this, which is not a lot, but it is still nice to have at base. It means you could run this card and then probably only have Deft Hands too, and then spend your credits on other items. So I think that's alright. You could maybe increase the reload speed a little bit, like maybe have it stack up to 4 times, or maybe increase it to like 10% per for 30% in total. I don't know. But yeah, interesting changes. Still not sure how I feel about the explosive personality nerf, but the ultimate buff is great, and I like these card changes. Furia is getting some changes, 2 card changes, and an Exterminate rework. So Exterminate is still going to be a good damage talent. When it hits an enemy, it's going to stop moving until it ends and deal up to 100% more damage to enemies under it. Wait, does this mean it's getting buffed? No, it doesn't. It's basically going to work... have you used the Inferno Tower from Clash Royale? Basically like that. So it starts off with small amounts of damage, and then it ramps up the longer the beam goes on. Or basically increasing based on the number of hits they take. So if an enemy stays under the beam for 2 seconds, they're going to take a lot more damage than if they stood under it for a second. So this is basically going to make it much less bursty and much less irritating to play against, but if you stay under it for an extended period of time, you're still going to take actually more damage than normal. So Yaggroth players beware, but everyone else, this is helpful. And yeah, Resilience will make this talent even less of an issue, so that's nice. And yeah, these card changes. So they're reworking Devout Dexterity, so instead of earning ammo after earning an elimination, you regenerate ammo every half a second for 1.5 seconds after earning an elimination. So you get much, much more ammo out of this card. I don't really see people use this card too much. Maybe you'll see it more now. I don't know. I don't know the meta when it comes to Furia builds. My Furia builds are kind of garbage. So it's fine, though. And then Lightforge is getting a rework. Ooh, and this looks spicy. Hitting Kindle Soul increases your movement speed by up to 40% for 1 second. That's the current rendition of Lightforge. And the new one will give up to 25% movement speed, it looks like, to you and your target for 1.5 seconds. So longer duration, less movement speed when it applies to you and your target. So yeah, giving Furia even more utility, which is not something that I thought she needed, but I guess she gets it. So hey, all right. I like it. Lightforge or Throw. I don't know about that one, but yeah, this is definitely better than the current implementation of Lightforge, so that's nice. Ooh, this is new. They didn't say anything about this. All right, Grohk buff. Yo, let's go. Grohk. Hey. All right, so the Totemic Ward will now increase the radius of healing totem by 25%. I'm happy. All right, that's cool. Totemic Ward is, of course, his most restrictive talent when it comes to healing, because Spirit's Domain, targeted, aimable healing, as opposed to you put down a circle on the ground and people are forced to stand in that, you know. It's restrictive, and so having a bigger radius for that actually means that teammates are going to be a lot more comfortable with the Grohk Totemic Ward healer now. I still don't know if it'll be picked up more than Spirit's Domain. It depends on the comp, I guess, but that's cool. I like it. I'm not going to complain. Now, what did they do to Jenos? Alright. Interesting. So, they buffed Binary Star back to kind of halfway in between what it used to be and what it is now. So, 0.45 seconds is the new fire rate, which, crap, how much damage does it do? 360, right? So, 360 divided by 0.45 seconds is 800 DPS. So, that's roughly in line with where his base is, but I think it's slightly less? But yeah, at least it's not as garbage as it is right now. But it also reduces your max ammo to 10. So, infinite firing with Jenos is going to be a little bit harder now. Oh my, that's great. And then Penumbra, they reduce the lifesteal percentage. See, this is a nerf that makes sense. This is a nerf that they should have done instead of nerfing Binary Star's DPS. Why? They should have kept the fire rate at 0.4, right? Kept the DPS the way it is, right? Make it a DPS increase because it's meant to be a damaged talent. You could even do the reduce max ammo, that'd be fine. And then reduce the lifesteal, because that was the problem. But no, now they nerf the DPS, and they nerf the lifesteal, and they nerf the ammo. They nerf everything. Just screw Jenos in particular. Okay. And Lorentz configuration, instead of increasing your max ammo by 2 per tier and just being flat, it increases your max ammo by 10%. So, interesting. So 10% of 30 is 3. So this is an increase for his base rifle, because 30 ammo, right? So you'll be able to get an extra, I guess, 50%. So 45 ammo on his base rifle. But then for Binary Star, it's just going to work the same. So this isn't actually a nerf to Binary Star. It's just a buff to his base, to his base rifle, if you were to run the ammo card. Because this will still scale at 2 per tier, because 10% of 20 is 2. So they really want people to use Power Cosmium. They really, 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 really want people to use Power Cosmium. Because Binary Star is barely getting a buff here, only to get nerfed, and then Lifesteal get nerfed, and then Lorentz configuration get buffed for his base rifle, but not not Binary Star. Jenos is stupid. Jenos is the new Torvald. You guys remember when they went through a phase of unnecessarily nerfing Torvald into the ground over and over again, even when he was already dead? They're doing less to Jenos now. And Torvald didn't deserve it. At least Jenos is a twat, and so he sort of deserves it. But still, even for me, this is a bit excessive. Poor Jenos, dude. Poor Jenos. Alright, what's going on with Khan? Ooh. Alright, so his Bulwark, his shield is getting increased base health. And then Leon's shield. Okay, so it has a new implementation. Now also increases the base recharge rate of your shield by 20%, for a total of 120% of non-talented base. So Leon's shield is going to recharge faster, I guess, and then his shield is going to be tankier. Okay. Weird. Con buff? I get that Leon's shield is not played, and it sucks, but Con in general is just good. So this is interesting. Interesting stuff. Anyways, Kinessa. Now this is what I was talking about earlier, with why you might want to play Kinessa, apart from the new skin. Eagle Eye, you know that piece of garbage talent that has the worst win rate in the game apart from Overcharged? And before Overcharge existed, it had the worst win rate in the game? Yeah, that's gone. They're reworking it again. And it's not going back to the old implementation of increased headshot damage, unfortunately. Or fortunately. You know, I don't know. Instead, she's getting an Oppressor Mine talent, so she's now going to have 1 talent for her primary fire, you know, her rifle, which is steady aim, 1 talent for her transporter, and finally 1 talent for her Oppressor Mine. And so you can have double the Oppressor Mines out, and you throw double the Oppressor Mines per use of the ability. Simple as that. So, yeah, just double mines. And you can combine this with Octopressor and the cooldown reduction card, and you're going to be, well, a little pest. You're going to be a little pest. And so, yeah, this is just free damage. It's kind of like almost a turret playstyle for Kinessa, because her mines are basically like mini turrets, and you'll just spam them out like crazy, and they'll just do a bunch of free damage for you, and then you just snipe the targets that they're shooting, and boom, big damage. So, this will be interesting, and yeah, oh my god, there's a pun. They really did that. They really did that, huh? Okay, well. Moving swiftly on. Maldamba. Everyone's favorite support. He is getting some nice, just quality of life things. So, when I saw this on the update show, I originally thought they were removing the card that reduces the cooldown of your Mending Spirits if you miss. But they're not. So, yeah, you just have the base implementation of refunding cooldown if you miss on Mending Spirits. But then you also just have the card as well. So, I guess there's more freedom in Maldama builds now. We'll have to see how serious the cooldown reduction is, because I don't really know. But then Pungent Gourd. This is a card that no one uses, because it's healing after activating Gourd. Just why? Just use the Gourd to heal yourself, stupid. But this is getting a nice little bit of some more utility on it. So increase your allies and your movement speed by up to 25% while in your Gourd, and for half a second after leaving it. So he has movement speed on his right click, his Mending Spirits, and now he also has movement speed on his Gourd if you run this card. And so you could couple these together and make just a really fast build, which seems nice, honestly. I'm a fan. This looks much more interesting than Pungent Gourd and gives him even more build diversity, because now you have another card that you would actually maybe consider using. So that's cool. That's really, really cool. You'll be able to invest less into Eerie Presence, like they said here in the developer commentary. And yeah, you have another card. So, Damba, looking great. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, they didn't talk about this. They didn't talk about this. Dude, we finally got the single biggest Pip buff that they could have ever possibly given Pip. Looks like they finally stopped fiddling around with randomly buffing Combat Medic for absolutely no reason, and have given him the buff he deserves. Reduced head hitbox size. You can pick Pip into hit scans, and you won't have as much of a headache now. You'll still probably have a headache, but it won't be as big of a headache. Yes! Finally. Oh god, as a Pip enthusiast, this is amazing. I'm liking this patch. I'm really liking this patch. This is cool. This is really cool. Atlas skin, Pip buff, Damba buff, Grohk buff. Jenos nerfs, cause screw Jenos. Yo, this is epic. Alright, what are they doing to Saati? Oh, they're nerfing her DPS. They're nerfing her damage per shot by 20. That doesn't seem like a lot, but over the span of like 4 shots, you're losing out on like 80 or so damage. And especially once damage reduction stuff comes into play, that's going to add up. And then the passive, they're reducing the recharge rate of 1 every 2.5 seconds to 1 per 2.65 seconds. So it's going to take longer to get your passive pips back as well, so you're going to be able to spam even less abilities. But they're increasing the range of blast back. So, I think that's fair, because blast back isn't exactly like crazy OP or anything. Her damage is annoying, and I guess this is a fair enough way to just genuinely reduce the effectiveness of every single one of her abilities, is just make them less spammable. So, yeah, we do need Saati nerfs. We'll see if this is going to kill her or take her out of the meta. I don't know if it will, honestly, just based on reading these numbers. We gotta see how it feels, you know? Alright, what are they doing to Seris? Ooh, this is interesting. So let's see. Rensoul, ability 1. Increased cooldown to 7 seconds. So that's interesting. Nerfing the cooldown, increasing the damage, and increasing the healing received. So they're making it more like it was like a year ago, where it was just more effective but less spammable. And then Convergence can now... What? What? Can now reactivate Convergence to detonate it in midair. Timed manual detonation? Oh my. Alright. That's gonna make her ultimate much more consistent. And you can just yoink people into the sky now? Wow. Alright, so her ultimate's just gotten much more reliable then. And let's see what they did to Agony. Agony. The current effect is now applied at base. Huh. So, she's getting a base stun now. So you don't have to pick Agony to get crowd control and to get some actual utility other than healing in late game. Alright. Still need to flick someone with 4 shots though, so it's not like it's going to be particularly reliable. But, oh no. Oh no. That means you have Agony and Soul Collector at the same time. Oh no. Oh no. Damage Seris meta? Soul Collector Agony meta? With Convergence? Oh no. And also, so the new effect of Agony. For each stack of Soul Orb detonated by Ren's Soul, your next Restore Soul ignores 5% of anti-healing, excluding Willow's Dead Zone, up to 25%, for up to 8 seconds. Does this also exclude Restraint Ray, or did they just forget about that? They probably just forgot about that, to be perfectly honest. So basically how this is going to work is for every stack of Soul Orb detonated by Ren's Soul, your next stack of Restore Soul is basically going to have like inbuilt Rejuvenate. So the next person you afflict with it is going to have some free Rejuvenate. But I wonder if that means then it gets overhealing. So like if you heal someone who's out of combat completely, no cauterize on them, will it just give them 25% extra healing? Because if it works like that, then that'll be pretty cool. That's really interesting though. So Seris is still obviously going to be really good for new players to learn, but for players who are not new, she now has a whole bunch of extra implementation to make her much more interesting. We are really going to have to test Seris on the PTS, because this is unprecedented. I did not see this coming at all. Never ever would have thought they would do this to her ultimate. And Agony coming into base kit. That's actually really good, but Oh god, with Soul Collector? Ooh, damage Seris is gonna feel nasty next patch. So, that's very interesting. Ooh, Strix. What are they doing to the Strix? Stealth, ability 2. Increased resource consumption per second? Wait. Hold on. Hold on. I need to sip my coffee. I think I'm seeing things. Increase stealth resource consumption per second from 10 to 12. Are... What? Huh? Why are they nerfing Strix? Huh? Do you see this? His best, this guy is already a bad champion. His best talent has a 39% win rate. And they're nerfing him? High res? Well. So, yeah. This update did seem a little bit too good to be true on the bounce side. I admit. Pip change? Dom buffs? Eagle Eye getting reworked, like just general, Jenos getting screwed over again. Like this seemed too good to be true, so I guess they had to do something that just is completely backwards and boneheaded, and just why would you ever do that? Congratulations, Strix players, you just got even more screwed. Your bad champion is now worse, and just go play Kinessa at this point. Like honestly, I feel bad for Strix mains, dude. Like that's just rude. That is just rude and unnecessary and, wow, disrespectful. Vatu, though, they went over this in the update show. He's getting more range, which is good because his range is garbage. His range is absolute doo-doo, and it's still going to be pretty garbage, but it's at least going to be slightly less garbage now. You're still going to want to be in, like, close range, though, with Vatu, so this isn't, like, a super big deal, but he's going to feel at least a little bit better, so that's nice. And finally, last but not least, I got a lisp all of a sudden. Yagroth is apparently getting nerfed. Huh. So, okay. So her base health is getting lowered. She's going to be even squishier now. And her ultimate is, it now has a minimum range, so you can't eat someone when you're on top of them. 50 units. So that's basically like 2.5 Androxus punches worth of distance. And the ability can no longer miss under normal circumstances, so I guess they made the ultimate easier to land, but it now has a minimum range, and she's squishier again. This is interesting. Yagroth is just a really weird champion, and she's got some really weird dynamics, where like she's very unreliable in casuals, because you just get random counters all over the place, and teamwork is non-existent, and there's no team coordination. But in ranked, and in like scrims and stuff like that, I know she's really good, because you've got good team coordination and you can ban her counters. So on the one hand, like this really sucks for Yagroth, because like, just in a lot of circumstances where you're just up against a tire or something, it's gonna feel awful. But on the other hand, like, this is healthy, because she's really good. So it's a weird dynamic. Honestly, balancing Yagroth is so tricky. I don't think this will be as destructive as some of the other nerfs she's gotten, though. So, like... But man, rest in peace, 6,900 HP, though. Veteran 3, no longer a nice number. No longer nice. But yeah, with that being said, that is the last of the balance. And now there's just bug fixes. And they didn't go over very many of these at all in the update show. And it looks like there's quite a bunch. So, let's see. Are any of these very good? Fix an issue where Azaan's ultimate deliverance would allow him to teleport to locations outside of the playable map space on certain maps. Ah, I know about this. I've actually done this before. Not on stream or anything, but my friends told me about it. and it's not very helpful, and it's not very reliable, and now it's not existent at all, so that's cool. Oh, they fixed Drogo's Fusillade. Okay, well, rest in peace, the one patch of Drogo's Fusillade meta, back to playing combustible and worm jets. Okay, so for Kinessa and Strix, their sniper HUD overlays were slightly off-center, and yeah, it's really apparent on some skins, like Strix Remix skin, for example, where the HUD overlay is like really thick and colorful. You can just see a gap on the bottom of the screen, and so that's good. It's nothing major, but you know, it's helpful. 7. Fix an issue where 7's grappling hook ability would not activate properly if there was an ally between 7 and the wall to which they were attempting to grapple. Okay, good quality of life. And updated several 7's cards to fix typos and make their text more consistent with other cards in the game. Alright, and nobody cares about that. Vora. Fix an issue where Vora's tendril ability would not activate properly if there was an ally between Vora and the wall to which they were attempting to grab, so same issue as 7. Interesting. I don't remember if I've really encountered that too much, to be honest. Like, I don't remember paying attention to that. So, weird. General fixes now. The very end of the patch notes. What have we got? Oh yeah, this issue. This is one they did go over in the update show. Fix an issue where muting another player in-game would not mute their voice chat. And this was already fixed. So if you use voice comms for whatever reason, which I don't, because I use Discord, then yeah, you can mute toxic players, and you can mute players who just don't know how to turn their music off. So that's cool. Fix an issue where small sections of the spawn room and frozen guard were not being treated as though they were within the spawn room. Interesting. Fix an issue where the announcer would play their variant of the match is about to begin in Team Deathmatch after the match had already begun. Okay, so just kind of quality polish fixes there. Fix an issue where projectiles would fall through the cracks of the stairs near the dock on Brightmarsh. Interesting. Haven't really encountered that. Fix an issue where the force field in front of the Timber Mill's upper spawn door would not disappear on round start. That's been an issue since the map got reworked, and I'm surprised they're just now getting to it. But I guess that'll make the map feel more polished, so that's cool. Fix an issue where Frozen Guard had an invisible wall alongside the payload push path that could not be fired through. Okay. Fix an issue where equipped text will not appear. Fix various UI issues with scrolling between different segments of the event pass track. Okay. Fix an issue where a skin's preview voice lines would play when selecting non-skin items in the event pass track. Alright. Fix an issue where crystal or currency values would not fit in the purchase button UI on the crystal purchase menu. So all of this is just generally polish. And fix an issue where announcer packs would play preview voice lines on other pages of the accessories menu. Okay. So a lot of just general minor polish tweaks is what this generally looks like for these general changes. And yeah, that's going to wrap up the patch notes. So, very spicy patch notes. We've got some spicy reworks, you know, like for Seris. We've got unnecessary nerfs. We've got a lot of really cool buffs. Freaking love this pip buff, man. And yeah, we've got an Atlas skin. Finally. We've got a new champion. We've got a Siege Beyond that doesn't look like total crap. And so, next patch. There's good, there's bad. Mostly good, I'd say. And yeah, that's really, really exciting. And yeah, new announcer pack, new menu theme, new stuff. I like new stuff. That's cool. But yeah, that is going to wrap up this update notes video. So if you guys have enjoyed, of course, make sure to follow me on YouTube here. Or actually, I'm live on Twitch right now, so that sounded weird. We're doing an outro for the video, okay? And, yeah. Make sure to follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, follow me everywhere, actually. Join the Discord server if you want to talk with other people about it. And yeah, also, make sure to check out my Nexus, nexus.gg/AndrewChicken, if you want to buy the Season Pass, crystals, stuff like that, of course, because that is the best way to support me. And with that being said, yeah, again, follow me on YouTube, Twitch, because we're going to be checking out the PTS once it comes live, probably on the weekend. And I will see you all next time. Peace out.